guys, you can see the cold air is blowing with light rain. I'm on the terrace getting dark. So without further delay, let's start. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'll share another interesting story. So please stay connected until it ends. So without further delay, let's start. Once upon a time, there used to live a very hard-working shoemaker. He used to live with his wife and they were struggling so much. Shoemaker used to earn bread by making shoes every day, but he was worried at the end of the month or at the end of the year he was unable to save money, and in this way they were struggling so much. So because his wife was so nice, so she said to her husband, "Dear husband, you don't worry. If not today, then one day our life will also change. Our life will also change. You don't worry about it. I know you are hardworking man." So in this way they were living their life hardly. One day shoes maker had nothing except one piece of leather, and he had no money to earn bread. So he was in his workshop and decided to make a pair of shoes. So he started cutting the leather, but that time it was evening and dark. So when he finished cut the leather, he decided to make shoes next day, and that time he closed his workshop and went in his house. That time his wife said to him, you don't worry darling, we will manage everything." And in this way they were living their life hardly. So next day something miracle happened. Want to know? Let's see. When next morning, when he opened in his workshop, he was surprised to see one pair of shoes on the table, and he was surprised that shoes was made of that remaining leather, and he was surprised, but without thinking anything he became so happy, and he said, "Oh, this is really magic. I have no money. Let me sold these shoes in the market. I'll get money." Immediately he took that shoes and went in the market and sold that shoes. He got really because shoes was really nice, so he got handsome money, and immediately he buy bread for themselves, and with the help of rest of the money he bought few bundles of leather, and he reached in his workshop. That time it was also evening, and he cuts the leather and reached in his house. That time it was evening and night. Then he explained at the dinner time, he explained everything in front of his wife, that about that incident. Then his wife said to him, "I told you that many more times that our life will definitely change. I know you are hardworking man. You don't worry about anything. God always helps those who do hard work. So I know our life will also change." In this way they were very happy, and that day they slept peacefully. Next day he said to his wife, "See, I meet you soon. I'm going to the shop. Take care of the house." He went in his workshop, opened. As soon as he opened in his shop, he was surprised. Again he saw so many pairs of shoes on the table. So many pair of the shoes on the table. He was surprised, and he said, "Oh, I think someone is helping me." Wow, that's great. And immediately he took that shoes, went in the market and sold, and he earned handsome salary. He became very happy, and immediately he bought lots of food, necessary ingredients of the house, and with the help of rest of the money he bought lots of lots of leather, lots of bundle of leather. He reached in his workshop. He cuts the then he cut the leather, and again he left cutted cutted leather on the table and reached in his house. Again explained everything to his wife. They were very happy. Again next day when he opened his workshop, he was surprised, and now it became routine. Something miracle happened. It started happening daily. He was surprised, but without thinking so much, he used to sold that shoes in the market, and he started earning so much. With the help of that money, he built a very beautiful bungalow, and now they had everything that they wish for, and they were living their life happily. So in this way few years passed. So one day his wife said to him, who is helping us, we should also help them. Who is helping us, we should also help them. And then her husband said to uh, her, dear wife, but how we will know that who is helping us? Then his wife said to him, you don't worry, today we will hide in the workshop, and we will see who is helping us. And as per decided, next night they they hide in a corner of the workshop, and they were waiting for the night. When night fell, and at the mid of the night, two two elves two elves started peeping through the window, and when they saw nobody in the workshop, nobody inside the workshop, immediately they jumped through the window on the table, and they started dancing on the air, and they started singing, dancing, and making shoes. Immediately they made lots of shoes, lots of shoes. And his wife and he, they were watching everything. They became very happy, and they said, oh look, these are elves, they are helping us. And when they saw elves shoes and dress were also very dirty and old, then that they decided to help them too. So from next morning, shoemaker and his wife started making clothes and shoes for elves, and within a week they make beautiful and colorful dress for elves. And next day, before night, they kept that beautiful clothes on the table and shoes on the table, and they hide corner of the workshop and started noticing everything. When night fell and elves came on the table, they were surprised to see beautiful clothes. Immediately they burned that clothes and became so happy, and started dancing on the air. In this way shoemaker and his wife were very happy, and they said to each other, look how happy they are. They wear our clothes, and look how happy they are. In this way lots of time passed. So one day his wife said to his we should also help them again. What if we will give some food and other things to them? Then the shoemaker says to his wife, yeah, really, this is a nice idea. And next day, they kept so many things on the table, like food, dress, shoes, and cap, everything they kept on the table. And they and that they decided to meet them. When night fell and elves came on the table, they were surprised to see everything. And in no time, Sue's maker and his wife came in front of elves. Elves were when elves saw them, they disappear in the thin air, because elves are really very shy creature, and and they disappear in the thin air. Sue's maker and his wife were surprised, and they were unable to understood everything. But from that day, that elves never return in the workshop. So Sue's maker and his wife were surprised, whatever happened. But uh, but even then, they thanks to elves, and they said whatever they have done for us was really nice, and we should be satisfied whatever they have done for us. Now we have everything, and we can also make beautiful shoes, and now we can live our life happily. So friends, this was the story which I shared. We can learn from this story. Some people wants to help us, but they don't want any kinds of help from our side, because because they they must be shy nature. So this was the story which I shared. I'll meet you in the next video. Till then, bye bye, take care.